Father God, we thank you now for being the keeper of promises made unto your children. Because you have fulfilled so many already, we now have faith that we can look for you for great things to happen. God, we pray now, help us to hear your word. Help us to see you in your word and to comprehend. God, we ask right now, speak to us in our respective places. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we pray. Amen. Amen. And amen. Amen. Oh, Jesus. Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 2, verses 14 through 16 is our text for this day. Acts chapter 2, verses 14 through 16. When you got it, say, I got it. Looking for it, say, wait. All right. Acts chapter 2, verses 14 through to verse 15 from the King James Version of the Bible. Here are the words that we find printed. But Peter, standing up with the 11, lifted up his voice and said unto them, Ye men of Judea, all ye that dwell at Jerusalem, be this known unto you. Hearken, listen to my words. For these are not drunken, as you suppose, seeing it is about the third hour, 9 a.m. of the day. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. From that particular reading, we want to frame our thought this morning on the subject, purpose. 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 Listen, have you ever gotten up in the morning and saying, man, what am I going to do today? Live some weeks out and say, man, hey, through the ups and downs, the valleys, twists and turns, ponder the thought, what really is my purpose in this world and my purpose in life? The question that plagues many believers and many non-believers is that we don't want to know, why does God really have me here? And what is it that he's really wanting from my life? I want you to know that the things that God wants from your life is connected to a lot of small dots that ends up leading you to a greater place. Everything that you're going through right now, even as a child, was a part of your makeup to get you towards the destiny that God was pointing you into without you even knowing it. God was taking and shaping those experiences to be of great value and treasure, that someday when you cross certain people's path, that you'll be able to pull from those experiences and say, hey, been there.
All right now.
And look at me. I am a survivor. Hey, got a few scars, got a few bruises, been knocked down. Hey, been tripped up some, but guess what? Standing still. Standing still. I want you to know that you are of great value to God. Every one of us that have been birthed into this world, God has a reason, purpose for us being here. And it's greater than you can imagine. It's more than being a parent, more than being a child, more than going to work and building a career. It's more than attending Cathedral AME Zion Church. Your purpose in this world is kingdom connected. It is always going to be bigger than you can imagine. But you have to see yourself doing great things. Doing great things. You are more special than you know. That's not joke. You are more special than you know. God wants us to come into the reality that he is using ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Not to bore you, I want to talk about Peter as our focus, and I purposely picked Peter out of Acts, the church receiving the Holy Spirit that God had promised that they would receive. And I wanted to talk about Peter because I think that all of Peter's life had to do with this monumental moment in the movement of the church going forward from Jerusalem and everywhere in the world. Don't you know that God can take you from Rap 4 Box 159 and make you global? God can take you from the country roads and the dusty streets, and the dusty roads and those little background is. Because God's not concerned only in the background. He's concerned about what's happening out front. And we have to be willing to go with God, trusting that God can do greater than where we are right now. I'm not going to do like I did this morning, but to let you know that God is doing great things in our lives, and our testimonies are beyond 1967, 1975, 1984, 1999, 2010. God is moving you from blessing to blessing, level to level, favor to favor, grace to grace. Because God done something in 67, doesn't mean He's going to do it in 2018. Matter of fact, God wants to do greater in 2018 than He did in 67. He wants to reveal Himself at different levels, but God also wants you to see yourself in different levels. Am I making sense of what I'm saying? So what we have to realize is that purpose really is the reason, the real main reason why are we in the world? What is the real thing that God has created us for, so that while we're living, we can meet that particular expectation of God, and that we can live lives for real. I want you to know that it's more than what we've been talking about. More than what we're talking about. I'm a king's kid. And God got kingdom plans for me. The things that God wants in my life is farther than Jackson, Mississippi. Things that God wants to do in your life is far beyond whatever address you live, and even your state. Trust Him with that. He's purposed you to do great things. I remember reading one day about the apostle, and somebody asked a question in the Bible, said, these are the men, they make the statement back, these are the men that are turning the world upside down. In other words, they're doing things beyond people's expectations. They're doing the unimaginable thing. But guess what? God working with them, it was able to be possible. The thing is that we have to do whatever we're going to do. We're going to have to do it with God assisting us, and not by ourselves. Our limitation is that when we decide to walk alone, but when we go out with God, then we can pull up boundary lines and push them back as far as God will allow them to go back. Because God and us together is the winning team. I'm going to believe God for a promise until it comes to pass. I don't care how many days it takes, I'm going to still be believing God. I don't care how many weeks it is, I'm going to still be believing God. Because God has given me a promise. Listen, sometimes God does some things that we don't even know about that's working. I remember one time I was working for this particular company. Tell you a quick story, and I'm going to jump into the text. I remember when I was working for this particular company, and someone had prophesied to me, shared with me, spoken to my life, and said, God is doing some things, and God is holding this ball up until you transition, until you make a decision. And I knew exactly what they was talking about, because I was contemplating changing companies. And I said, I'm not going to change over Chris companies. It came just going on and said, no, I'm not going to do this. And believe it or not, as long as I stayed there, God held back the storm. When I left that job and went to the other place, it didn't take 30 days before the linen, the curtains was pulled. And everybody was asking me, Gary, what happened to that? I said, I'm no longer with that company. I really do not know. But one thing I do know is that God guarded my integrity. He allowed me to leave there so I wouldn't be a part of the equation. Sometimes God is just waiting on you. To get to where He is, calling you, so He can say, hi, y'all.
All right, man.
Like, boom, there it is. So I chose Peter for a reason, because I wanted us to see out of Peter's life that even though Peter went through some bad experiences, all of these things were shaping him for His purpose. Remember, he was fishing, right? Jesus came along and said, hey, come follow me. Peter said, hey, let's go. He went and followed him behind Jesus. I don't know if in particular order, but I'm going to tell it like it's coming to my mind. Peter was fishing one day, and some group guy, hey, come in. Jesus said, hey, drop your net, man. Drop your nets. Peter said, okay, we've been fishing all night. I ain't never seen you out here with us. You ain't been a part of this crew, man.
Come on, man.
But because you said drop the nets, I'm going to drop a net. Because Peter obeyed and dropped the net, God took what was available, and He blew their minds. How did He do it? He filled the net to the point that it was about to break. They had to call for other ships to come and help them to retrieve the catch of the day. Notice they were fishing at night, but the great catch came during the day. God doesn't operate operate on the time that we operate on. God can do things when it seems like time is not on your side. God can say, hey, I can work with that. Why? Because God wants his things that he does for us to be convincing, not only to others, to us, but to be convincing to others. Perhaps people thought the best catch would be at night. God said, no, the best catch is right now.
All right now.
It's right now. Another time that Peter says, when Jesus was walking, coming to see them, he said, guys, don't y'all be afraid, it's me. Peter said, if it's you, well, let me come to you on the water. Jesus said, okay, come on. Peter started out the boat on the water. Wind started blowing. He took his eyes off Jesus. Peter started to sink. But Peter was not afraid to say, if it's you, prove it to me. You've been in a spot where you want to know if it was God or not. If it's you, then do this. You ain't trying to walk on water because you're too scared out. But Peter was saying, hey, if it's you, let me come to you on the water. Jesus said, hey, come on, dude. And Peter was able to walk on water as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus. I hope you didn't miss that. Peter was able to walk on water as long as he stayed focused. We will be able to do crazy mad things as long as we are focused. Another time, they were sitting there. Peter was talking about how much he loved the Lord. Jesus said to him, Peter, you know you're going to deny me, right? Oh, man, I don't do that. Shoot, I'll die before I deny you. He said, oh, before the cock crows, man, you're going to deny me. So, yeah, don't do it. Peter said, well, nope. Heard a noise. Peter was reminded what Jesus said. Before the cock crows, you would have denied me 3 times. It broke Peter's heart that he disappointed his Lord, because he made that kind of vow that even though many people will walk away from you, deny you, I would never do it. In those life experiences in ours, we have made a vow to God that we did not keep. But God didn't strike us dead. And when the women came from the tomb and had realized that Jesus had risen from the dead, he said, go tell the disciples and Peter. I like the way the Bible writes that. He runs and they go tell the disciples, hey, he has risen. And he told us to come and tell you, and for you to meet him, and Peter also. Peter says out of the corner, who, me? They said, yes. He said, tell the disciples and Peter. Wait a minute. Are you sure? He said, Peter. We know he said Peter. Peter jumped up, man, from the corner of disappointment, took out the race in front of the rest of them, beat him to the tomb, and looked at where he lay.
All right, man.
Because Peter wanted to know for himself, like others, he had risen. The same Peter, out of all these experiences, sinking because he took his eyes off Jesus. Being able to catch more fish than he ever caught. Amen. Because nighttime didn't work, but the right time with Jesus did. Being on the mountain where he says, let's build a tabernacle. You got Peter, James, and John up here. You build a tabernacle for Moses, for yourself, and for Elijah. Let's do this. Let's hang out here. He says, check this out. We can't stay up here because the work is down there. Peter went through all this thing, even denying him. All of those things were shaping experiences for where God is calling Peter in our text. Peter realized that because I failed did not mean I need to surrender. Failure doesn't mean that we need to surrender. It means that it did not work over here. Move over some and try it over here. Right. If it doesn't work over here, move over some and try it over here. If it didn't work Monday, try it Tuesday. If it didn't work Tuesday, try it Wednesday and Thursday. If it didn't work Wednesday and Thursday, take a break on Friday. Get you some pan trout and catfish. But Saturday, go back to it. Give it another try. Don't stop because it didn't work. And I know sometimes when we've given our best fight and we get tired in our physical, the devil will tell you, man, you're going nowhere fast. But I'm going to tell you, sometimes God will make things uncomfortable to get you around, get you from around folk that make you comfortable. You got folk that stroke your neck to my baby, he's going to be all right. God said, make it around the folks. Tell some folks, said, man, go look for them. You want folks to lick your wounds. Man, oh, you tried all you could. I ain't through trying. God was sometimes make things uncomfortable so you can get from around people that make you comfortable. Don't comfort me in my failure. Encourage me in my failure. Say, Gary, don't lose heart. Guess what? God is still God. And if God told you that, it's going to come to pass. I'm telling you, I don't need people trying to tell me, hey, happy stuff. No. I need people to say, you know what? What is it that you think you left out? What is it that you have not done? What is it that you think you need to do greater? But I'm going to tell you sometimes, if we can be honest, and I'm really dealing with the text, sometimes people, we have gone trying to do something for God without consulting God. We don't have that assignment. And we're just so happy to say, oh, I just want, and we're bragging and boasting about all the things that we've done. We're so tired and wore out. And we really realize that when you're tired and wore out, sometimes you're doing stuff that ain't your assignment. Although I believe everybody in this church ought to have their fingerprint on something in ministry, I don't intend for you to be here every day that something happens that you need to be here all day, every day. I think you need to find the thing that floods your heart with joy, and the thing that you're most passionate about, drop yourself dead smack in the middle of it, because if you're passionate about it, you're going to do something about it. But if you're just looking at it, it ain't moving you, it ain't going to move you to do anything when you get it. The worst thing to do is have a position without power, purpose, and progression. Because if you're not compassionate about it, you're not going to be passionate or patient with it. Now let's move. Peter got all these things going on, but I need you to realize that God was up to something. Chapter 1, verse number 8, the disciples are really concerned that Jesus said that the Spirit of God will come, the Holy Spirit will come, and you shall receive power. I told somebody the other day, the only way that you can receive power, and I don't know anybody right now but Norwood that can make this illustration really good for me. But the way that I'm getting ready to throw you something, the only way that you can receive something is this way. You got to have your hands open. You can't receive anything with your hands closed. No matter what God is throwing your way, you got to be open to what God is trying to put in you. The disciples in the upper room was there because they had to get to a place they called openness, that they would be ready to receive what God was trying to drop to them. If your hands are closed, can't nobody put anything in it. Now you think your hands are closed because you're trying to be stingy or conservative. But you got to be willing to open your hands if you're going to receive something, even if you're stingy. Now I call stingy frugal because I'm very, very conscientious of how I spend my resources. And I'm not just talking about money, how I spend my time. I told you about the time I went to lunch with somebody, breakfast with somebody, and they said, Pastor, I really need to talk to you. And I went and talked with them, and they sat there, they played with their phone most of the time, and I got up and left. They said, where are you going? I said, I got to go. They said, wait a minute, I haven't talked to you yet. You chose to play with your phone. I gave you my time, but I'm not going to waste my time with you here trying to keep up with Facebook and social media and look at your Instagram and stuff like that. I got other things I can be doing. I don't know about you, but I got other things I can be doing. If you distract that, stay with that, but call me when you got time for me. We have to be very, very, very conscientious of how we're going to give ourselves away to things and to people. I'm not going to give you permission to sit there and play with your phone all day and burn an hour of my time trying to keep up with other folks' lives. I'm right here in this moment. Take this moment. You leave it for real. Go. Call me when you're ready. But I'm not going to sit here and watch you. And I did it on purpose. I sat there for a moment. I kid you not. I sat there for a moment and watched them pick up their phone. And I'm not trying to be nosy and read what happened, but I know what Facebook board looks like. I ain't stupid. I know what that looks like. And when I saw the board, I looked up and I saw the little blue board. I said, okay. They put their phone down. They looked at it again and said, you know you scrolling, peeping when you're doing that. So I'm like, okay, I ain't bothered. So I sat there. I got my little phone in my cap. I pulled it close to me. Sit right up in the aisle. I slid it right there close to me. Next time they pick up their phone, I know what Instagram looks like. You sit there looking, you ain't saying nothing to me, but a fragmented sentence. I said to myself, Gary answered back, yes. I said, it's time for us to go. He says, for real. I said, it's just a waste of time to sit here being engaged with people that's not engaged with me. And they called a meeting and whatnot. Well, I'm ready. I'm ready. Be ready the next time because I'm gone this time.
All right now.
I'm gone. I'm bound. That's right. So I moved on to something else. My thing is this. You got to realize that you got the power to help people make best use of your time and your resources. It's just like money. I'm not going to give you money for things that I don't do. Just like people stop me and say, hey, can I get a dollar? Like the guy the other day was very honest with me. Hey, you got some change. I need to give me something to drink. I don't drink. I don't support drinking. It's kind of like child support. It ain't yours, but you're going to give all child support money to them. Don't make sense, does it? If I don't drink and do crack, why am I giving you money to drink and do crack? So I'm not getting ready to support your habit. One of the reasons I couldn't smoke cigarettes was because they were too high. I don't support habits that's too expensive. You follow what I'm saying? Now, you know, I'm a first-class guy, but I know how to do things moderately and make it look like first class. It's the ambiance, you know what I'm saying? It's the ambiance. Because listen, everything, I'm saying, it's some restaurants to go to that food knock you off your feet. But there are restaurants that you go to, the ambiance, the atmosphere, the lighting, the music, it knocks you out. The cook can't cook at all, but it's the ambiance, it's the experience that makes it nice. Am I making sense? I'm telling you. So I'm just saying, be open. That's why I started. You can throw my keys back. I'm just saying, be open. I ain't got my glasses on. I'm looking at God know how to give you good vision and stuff. You know, but listen, you got to be open to receive what God is trying to send your direction. So Peter received it, says on it. They moved up the room. So what ends up happening is, I'm moving fast because you've already been through this stuff. It's notice that God, when he breathed into man and man became alive, it was through a wind. Here it is with the church. When he's birthing the new church, it's with a wind. Notice that when he was calling Moses to go out to be a liberator to his people, it was with fire. Now the liberation of the church comes with tongues of fire. The church is moving from its stagnant place to become alive and vibrant for God. It appears in cloven tongues that are on fire for him. Now here we are. And they say that, listen, what is it these men are doing that the Holy Spirit has come upon them and they're speaking languages that they have not been taught? For are they not Galileans? What is the meaning of this? They could not understand because the noise that was in the house was abroad outside of the house. They began to get the attention of the people outside. And it drew the people to the house where they were. They heard them in their own language. And they could not understand. These ignorant men, unlearned men, were able to speak this Cretan language. They're able to speak Greek and Latin and Hebrew. And they're able to do it unlearned. How is it so? God knows how to get people's attention. He knows how to draw the crowd if you let him use you. He knows how to attract people. One of the dangers of anointing, I did not say this is the morning service, but one of the dangers of anointing is that people can become a groupie. Because of what God is doing in your life. We have to be very careful in our anointing to realize that we don't have the right to abuse privileges because people are attracted to us. Ooh, Pastor, you are awesome. It is the anointing of God that rests upon us. So we ought not take those as personal privileges because it's God who's working in us. Am I making sense of what I'm saying? Am I making sense of what I'm saying? I should not be telling you, well, you know, beloved, you know, you love the pastor, you know, and you financing stuff for me and buying, you know, me a new home and a new car. I'm talking about us one-on-one. If the church want to decide together to pay off our mortgage, have your way. If the church want to decide together to drop that dream car in my drive, do it. But I should not be, because of what God is doing in ministry, and Norwood gets blessed out of it, or God gives him a word out of it, and he comes to me and say, Reverend, you don't know how you changed my life, and there's anything I can do for you. And I look at him and say, shoot, Norwood network is about $3 million. So for me to ask him for that Audi A, you know, brother, you know that's something you really could do. I got a dream car. I shouldn't have that kind of conversation with Norwood. You follow what I'm saying? But if Noah walks up to me after God has opened up the windows of heaven and say to me, Reverend, God has put in my spirit to be a blessing to you. And I understand God is saying to me that you've been praying and asking for this vehicle, the Audi A right now, that you've been praying for. Is there any particular thing that you want that I'm able to do for you? You know, I hear the Lord saying, bless you with a car. What is your car? But no, what since you asked? It might be a little bit out of reach, but I'm really looking at the Audi. Oh, that's not with that out of my reach. God has blessed me substantially. That's different.
Amen. Amen.
But you toting a note and can't pay your own note. That's a difference. You tossing them up every week talking about, should I pay the pastor note or should I pay my own note? Pay your note. Since I'm on that, can I tell you how that works? This is a moment of revelation. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Because you need to know this. Because God is God. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Because I don't want you to be sitting up at home in the dark. And I'm in Mountain.
All right.
And because I'm there because you decided not to pay a bill. Am I making sense?
Come on, Pastor.
What you have to learn to do is this. Learn to build wealth slowly. One of the quickest way to build wealth, and I'm going to run after this and get back to the text and stay with me. One of the quickest way, the best way, not the quick way, one of the best way to build wealth is understand the tithing system that God has in place. I'm going to tell you what has worked for me. If you take 10% of what God gives you and you return it to the church like he's asking, and turn around and take 10% of what God has given you and give it to yourself. It needs to be tied up in a savings account or a retirement account or some type of annuity or something. 10% of what you make needs to be tied up, invested in a return that comes to you. 80%, do whatever you will with it. You follow what I'm saying? But be good stewards over it all. One of the things that I've learned in my giving is this. I don't give nobody what I need unless the Holy Spirit instructs me specifically to do it. You follow what I'm saying? You ought not be in hardship trying to be a blessing to somebody else unless the Holy Spirit tells you specifically to do that. I hope I'm helping somebody right now. I have learned that no is just as great of a blessing as yes is. Especially when it comes to my money. Because here's the thing, the Bible tells us that when we bless folk, we ought to look at that seed as dead. I can't look at that seed as dead when I need that money to come back to me so that I can pay my car note that's coming up in 15 days. That's why the Bible tells you don't co-sign for nobody. My children tell you, I ain't co-signing for none of them. Nothing. You can go get it and I help you with a down payment, but I'm not getting ready to co-sign on anything. Because what ends up happening is just this. When Gary don't pay his note, they start looking for me. And they say, well, Mr. Adam, guess what? Gary didn't pay his note. You co-signed. You are now responsible for what Gary was negligent in doing. Now I'm all mad and puffed up with Gary. How does it feel when you look on Facebook and you don't loan somebody $600 and they balling with Remy Martin, Hennessy, Crown, Corona, and sit up in a bar talking about this is how we roll. And that joker owe you $600. But he done took his $600 and decided that he gonna do a baller's party. And he on the picture talking about we making it right. With my $600, I feel some kind of way that you live in a party, having a party, and owe me $600. You out in Las Vegas somewhere with my paper, and you talking about this is how we roll, and you owe me. I ain't the only one that feels some kind of way about that. I look at that Facebook post and said, listen, this girl owe me money and yeah, you're wasting money like this. But what took me away from that attitude was I only gave what I could release and detach myself from it. Now you in Vegas having a good time? Great. It ain't spoiled me none. Because guess what? My paper still standing. Y'all follow what I'm saying? I have learned to tell people close to me, no. I don't have it for that. I told y'all about my youngest brother one time. I sold him a car. I had won a car. I tried to sell it to him for a decent price. My brother paid me probably $150 out of $1,500. And when I called, my brother was harassing him about his payment. My brother told me, hey, you must be broke or something. You must be out of money or something. You ain't got any money. I said, wait a minute. That is, man. I said, why you ask me that? I mean, you hounding and sweating me about making a payment. I mean, you must be having a hard time or something. Holy Ghost, get my tongue and put my hands in my pocket and put my hands on my brother and tell him something. Because I'm still a minister of the gospel. I don't need to say nothing that ain't going to be like you, Jesus. I don't need to do nothing that's going to have me all locked up. So help me right now. So finally one day I had to persuade myself, do you need that car? Nope. Release it. I had to let it go. And we've been getting along fine since. You follow what I'm saying? So what we have to realize is, don't you be in need and in a distressed situation trying to get somebody something you need. Because the Bible would teach you to give out of your excess rather than out of your necessity. See, these are principles that I follow. If I got to pay a light bill, my mama knows, don't ask me for nothing. That's going to cause division in my house. Because I got to pay my mortgage, I'm going to help you. But I'm going to help my house first. Then I help you second. Y'all talking about you do your mama like that? She was in this world before I was. Older than I am. Been working longer than me. Should be in all right position, I think. Y'all might be thinking horrible of me. I'm a better child than you know. I'm a better child than you know. So we have to think about those things, that it doesn't bring bad vibes in relationship that we have. Because I'm going to tell you, I got folk right now that owe me money. I'm talking about substantial money. And I look at them and I laugh and I smile. We talk, we play with each other. Because that doesn't bother me that they owe me money. Some people, it's been years since they paid me back. I had a friend once, man, I know it was at least 7 years before he decided to give me my money back. When he gave it to me, it shocked me. I'm like, dude. He was like, hey, man, here go a piece of that change I owed you, man. You know, when you was out in my town visiting, whatnot, I asked you for some money. And I looked at the money like, what, Lord? I thought I had this money right here. And this brother gave me my money back. And it had been years. Now, let's get to the text, but Peter. Peter, up to all of this point, y'all, would y'all forgive me for giving y'all that information? I mean, it has helped me in my lifetime. It has helped me in my lifetime. So, I mean, if it has blessed me, I think it might help you. Now, you know, I'm telling people, now, some people think that I got a lot of money. I ain't got a lot of money. I ain't got no lot of money, but I got a lot more than I had when I was 20, 30, 10, because I came to my senses. You follow what I'm saying? So this is a crazy thing. Tell y'all a quick story. Don't be gone. Damn, when they would ask me about saving money. You trying to save the money today? Go around here and die, you gonna go around. I said, look here, about dying. I'm trying to save all the money I can. If I die, you're going to be happy. If I live, we going to be happy. Either way it goes, what I'm saving, somebody going to be happy. Now, if the Lord decided to call me home before I get to my treasure, then you'll be happy. And I always tell folks, when Jan is standing at the grave, crying, somebody tap on the shoulder and ask her, did you call the insurance man? Don't let her grieve so much that she forget to call the insurance man. Tap on the shoulder and ask her, did you call the insurance man? Just remind her to call the insurance man. I know when y'all tell her that, it's going to lift her burden. I know. It's going to dry her weeping eyes. It ain't going to stop all the tears, but it's going to slow some of them down. I know that much. Lord have mercy. I guess y'all can see by now, I'm not really worried about dying and bothered about dying. I'm not really worried about it. I can talk like that. I'm not really worried about it. But not so. Only thing that life owes me is another opportunity. And if I don't get one, hey, I've had great ones in my lifetime. So here we go. Peter, but Peter. This is what I want to get to. But Peter. Y'all remember what I said about Peter, right? Please say yes, because if you don't, we'll go through it again. Can y'all say yes louder? Yes. So y'all remember what I said about Peter. Here we go. But Peter. Now here's the thing. You remember the coward Peter that went home when they found out that he was one of the followers of Jesus? Peter denied him and ran to hide because he was afraid. Now I want you to know that the crowd that is up against Peter now, after they've been filled with the Holy Spirit, this crowd is larger because people globally is standing in front of Peter and accusing Peter of being drunk of wine. And Peter standing up. Notice that God gives us comfortable pews, but God's mission cannot be accomplished with us sitting down. We got to stand up for Jesus if we're going to do what he's called us to do. So Peter's standing up, but notice that Peter is not standing by himself. We need bold folk in our church that would not only stand by themselves, but would stand with other folk when right is right. The pastor the pastor doesn't need to be the only person trying to stand for what's right. If you know what's right, you need to tell your friends, listen, enough of that foolishness. It's time for us to do right in the eyesight of God. I'm serious. Your friends ought not discourage you to do what is right. You ought to be encouraged, no matter how rough it is, to do the right thing. I oftentimes tell people, if you do what's right towards God, God will take care of the rest of that stuff. God will take care of the rest of the stuff. Because there are things that I come up against in life and I have to weigh it out. I said, Lord, wait a minute. Is this really about me or is it really about emotions? I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to be looking at this wrong. Help me. Because I'm a very, very vocal person when I want to be. And I know how to stand when the chilly winds are blowing. I know how to stand by myself. I ain't embarrassed a whole lot. Even if I'm wrong, I'll say, oh, well, I was wrong. I'll move on. But as long as I think it's right, I'll stand with it. You know, and I don't know if I told y'all before, but when I was pastoring 23 years ago, when I came to Mississippi, man, I would give a presiding elder a fit and a bishop too. If I felt that was right, I would say, elder, I don't agree with that. I don't see how that's possible. I just think it's plumb wrong. Then I learned better. I learned to take my fights behind closed doors. And it kept them off my back and kept me off theirs. But what happened was that we learned how to do things a particular way. I'm trying to tell you that we got to learn to stand for what's right, regardless of what the cost might be.
Amen.
So Peter is standing because he's been filled. So he's able to stand and he's able to speak. Stand up and speak up. Your silence don't mean you're innocent. Sometimes people say, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You need to probably have something to do with that. You probably need to have something to do with it. That's what I love when I'm working with Christ in the contact line. When people call in and they reported abuse, I had no option. If it was a certain age group, you had to report it to DHS. You had no option. Same thing with church. If something happens here, there's child abuse or something happens to a vulnerable adult, you might be in confession. I'm sorry, I got to report it. I'm not telling you not to talk to your pastor. What I am telling you is that if you tell me something that has done something to a child or to a vulnerable adult, you got to be told. Because when they do catch you, and you say, well, I was in confession with Pastor Adams, and I told him all about it, and he prayed. The police going to say, you told who that? Pastor Adams? Pastor, is that a P? Hey, last name, what that? What church? Oh. Go get it. Your silence don't mean you innocent. Now, here we go. Peter, standing up. Well, now, how do we then, let's go to the 4 points I'm going to make. How do we then, it's not going to be long, probably 2 minutes on each one. How do we then realize our purpose in life? What does it really take? It takes patience with ourselves, and it takes patience with other people. We got to learn to realize that because we mess up, it shouldn't mean we ought to give up. Amen. You're going to mess up in this life. Because anything that requires our human hands to touch it, it is subject to be an error somewhere. Amen. I was doing something with my phone this morning, and I had to have 2 people to help me. One helped me in the sanctuary, and one helped me across the way. Because I simply did not know what I was doing. I was willing to try it, but I didn't know what I was doing. You're going to need help. Because you don't know, you got to learn to be patient with yourself. And you cannot be afraid to say, I'm sorry and I need help.
Amen. Amen.
You cannot be afraid of that. Peter, out of all the things that he went through, probably would have said, man, final straw when I denied it. Final straw. I give up. But for Peter's promotion to happen from being a fisher to a disciple to an apostle, what had to happen was everything that happened to Peter.
Amen.
That's how he got promoted. He needed all of those life experiences to get to the place where he's making this proclamation today. I really believe Peter's denial at the fire was the thing that helped Peter to stand up after he had been filled. Wow. I think Peter had a made up mind. Today, I'm not going home a loser. Today, I'm going to stand up for Jesus and I'm standing up boldly. Today, I'm I'm going to make a difference, different than I've been all the days of my life. If nobody else stand, I'm standing up. But he had 11 folk that didn't decide to stand with him.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
We got to have patience with ourselves. You're not the best person that you're going to be today. You are getting closer, but you're not there yet. Sometimes you're going to slip up. Sometimes you're going to mess up. Sometimes you're going to willfully go the wrong way. But if God wakes you up tomorrow morning, guess what God is saying? We ain't done, dude.
Thank you, Lord.
It's just God. Because if God was through with you, you wouldn't wake up.
Amen.
But because God knows the potential in you, he wakes you up. And because you didn't throw in the towel, God said, come on, dude, let's go.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
That's what I like about God. And I'm a very practical person. Sometimes I have fits, I pout, I throw tantrum. And God just back up, don't kick me. God just back up. Oh, I can't let him hit me. And when I get through pouting and I come to myself, God said, okay, now, you ready?
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
That's what I like about God. I tell people this all the time. When I go and deal with people in grief, I tell people, you say what you want to say. If you need to cry, shout. If you need to scream, if you need to curse, go ahead and do it. Because God is a loving Father. He will step back and give you room to be human. And when you get through, God will wait on you to realize that I'm there. I'm fighting with you. I'm fighting for you. I have not abandoned you. I've done you no wrong. I'm going to help you get through this. God steps back and let us be crazy. But when we come to ourselves, he said, I'm here.
Thank you, Lord.
That's what I like about God. Because I've been there in my life. But I've said some ugly stuff. And God didn't knock me down. And when I got through with all of my pouting and expressing myself, God said, I ain't changed my mind. When you're ready, I'm ready.
Thank you, Lord.
That's what I appreciate about God. He gives us room. He understands. So the second thing is that I think that all of the things that in Peter's life was not only being patient with himself, and for those that received the Holy Spirit was being patient, but I think it was about preparation. I think that every failure is a process of elimination. Say things doesn't work that particular way.
All right. All right.
You know 2 plus 2 will equal 5
Amen.
when you add another 1. But as long as you keep writing 2 plus 2, it's going to equal 1 answer. Oh. So in other words, you can't keep having the same input expecting different outcomes. So when you have failure, realize what you put in it and change something.
That's it.
All right. All right. Thank you, Lord.
Come on, Pastor.
That's the way it works. You got to change the equation. Sometimes the things that happen in your life greater means sometimes you got to change your circle. Sometimes you got to change your location. Sometimes you got to change your mind. Sometimes you got to change the way you perceive things. Sometimes you just got to get a whole brand new start. It's sad, but this is true. It's sad, but this is true. You cannot have $1 million problem talking to a person that got a $1 mentality. You got to find somebody that got $1 million problem that can help you. Magic Johnson says this question in the interview. He says, listen, they asked him about being wealthy and how he built these franchises and things. And Magic Johnson says to them that obtaining wealth is not an issue. For most people, maintaining wealth is the struggle.
That's it.
When God gives it to you, how then do you maintain it?
That's it.
And I'm going to tell you something. There have been people in my life that I love today dearly. But for the things that I'm facing in my life, they can't help me with.
Tell it, Pastor. Tell it.
Now, we can talk about shallow stuff, but stuff that really meets the road, you can't help me with that.
You better tell it. That's it.
Because when they say, man, if I was you. Now, tell me when you face some win like this.
Tell it.
Am I making sense? I'm not saying that your friends ain't good. I'm just saying you probably need to find another friend that can help you come up. And there's nothing wrong with what we call shadowing. Somebody that's doing what you're aspiring to do. That's the person you need to really be talking to.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Pastor.
So, preparation. How do they prepare themselves for the receiving of the Holy Spirit? They got in one accord, on one place, and realized it was one focus. We're here for the Holy Spirit. I woke up this morning, ooh, my head was hurting. That ain't probably here.
Say yes, sir.
Ooh, child, it was a long drive this time. See, when we come in on worship on Sunday morning, we get distracted with so much other stuff. The real reason you're here is to worship God.
Amen.
Look at what she got on. She made it.
Amen.
Regardless of what she got on, she made it. We'll clean the fish once we get into the house. But we can't clean it if we ain't got it on the line yet. We got to check it first. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Because I know somebody was telling me, why don't you tell them, I ain't that close to them yet. Well, let me get a little closer first. And let me start building some relationship first. And then I can tell them what you want me to tell them. Then this other thing about that is presence. When we want to realize our purpose, we got to learn to get into the presence of God.
Amen.
As I said this morning, presence is the most intimate thing that a believer can find. That place when he and God are in communion with each other. Peter is there in the upper room. All distractions are on the outside. And they're there until they realize the presence of God. I really want to believe and interject into the text this, that when the church comes to one place and on one accord, I think that God is already there, but we haven't realized it yet. And when we realize that even before tongues came, or the cloven tongues came, I think that God's presence had already been revealed. Because in order to get on one accord, it's a peace that comes over you. Anybody ever been on one accord in a relationship? Worries subside. You feel a sense of security and comfort. You feel a sense of protection. Huh? Have you ever been with somebody and you felt like they got your back? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. All these folks praying to God and put them with somebody right, and you ain't never felt that you were with the right person yet. And most of y'all look like y'all at least 18 years old. You ain't never experienced that for a little while. Even if he changed, then he got my back. She was right for a little while. You know? Well, let me tell y'all this. If you with somebody right now and you ain't got no peace, leave. If you with somebody and you don't feel like they got your back, you secure, leave right now. If you got somebody in your life right now you giving yourself away to, literally giving yourself away to, and they can't help you make ends meet and get you through the week. I ain't talking about with no money, but I'm talking about believing in me enough to tell me, baby, you can do it. It's gonna come to pass. You got this. Oh, it's just a matter of time. Wait on God. After a while, this surely gonna come to pass. If you ain't got nobody that's your biggest cheerleader in your corner, I'm gonna tell you right now, leave. Because when I tell you what I'm dreaming about, I need you to sign on with me. When I tell you where I'm trying to go, I need you to believe I want you to go with me. Even if you can't see yourself there, see us there. I don't need nobody coming into my life when I'm through all the blood, sweat, and tears. I want somebody with me that was there when I was bleeding, sweating, and crying. So I didn't make it, we made it.
Amen.
All y'all look young enough to be coaching you. That's just some good dating advice. Now, let's move to the last thing. Presence. Here's the thing. Peter began to proclaim to them about this person, Jesus. Joel spoke way back yonder. I'm at verse number 20 right now, in case you want to know. Way back yonder. This is what the prophet Joel spoke about. That it shall come to pass that God shall pour out his spirit upon his people. The babes, the servant, all. I want you to realize that this was Old Testament. I'm talking about way, way, way before Jesus came. But here it is on this day that Peter is saying what he prophesied about now is being realized. But I want to let you know is that God may not come when we want him to. But God, if he's spoken a promise to you people, please don't give up on God. He's going to do just what he said. It may take a little time. And I'm going to tell you why God takes time sometimes giving us stuff that we need to have. Can I tell you why? Because God knows that there's some people in your life ain't going to be nothing but leeching off you. You need to have time for you to disconnect from them folks before they take advantage of everything that God's going to put in your life. The only thing I say about the money that Jan's going to get when I die, please don't let no 21 or 31-year-old person come in her life trying to date and coat and carry on. Because listen, these folks trying to get started while she already gotten started. Listen, she don't need no young fella like that coming in there trying to get her money. Just tell her, Jan, keep your eyes open, baby, keep your eyes open. Stay in the game, stay in the game. Y'all folks, just let her know. Young cat like that, they don't want nothing but some money and a fresh start.
Amen, Pastor.
Y'all follow what I'm saying? Don't let her end up with a 21-year-old. Hey, Miss Adam, how you doing? Lady, my check's too big. Check that she getting gonna be too big. Brother, you can't count these numbers. Go, 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 go. Y'all see her out the lunch and he look past and say, Gary. If not, tell him slide over some. Y'all interrupt that luncheon. Because it's going to be on my death benefits. Don't y'all never waste somebody like that. I'm for real. What I am saying and what I am not is saying, when I die, if y'all see Jan with somebody brand new 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years, don't y'all interrupt that. I ain't coming back. Let her move on. Ooh, she must have been dating him while he was living. I didn't know, so hey, don't y'all interrupt that. Let her move on. If I did know, I'm dead. I can't fix it now. Let her go on.
All right, man.
Y'all follow what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't bring that drama in her life.
Amen. Amen.
Ooh, she dating real soon, so he did. I want her to be extremely happy when I'm gone. More happy than she was when I was here. Y'all follow?
Yeah.
So, if it happens while I'm here, God called me home while I'm here. Don't y'all get in the way of her bliss for this. Just don't let 21 get old. All that money. That's all I'm saying. All right? Here you go. Here's the last thing. How was Peter able to stand? Because he had received power. Why was Peter not afraid? Because he had received power. Why was Peter able to do it? Because he was able, because he received. I told you in the beginning, you and God together, nothing but a winning team. Thank you, Lord. Nothing but a winning team. Nothing but a winning team. Peter declares all this stuff, and this is what happened. Peter goes on to say, but whosoever shall call, 21, whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord. I want you to know that you, just like the Bible said, your purpose is to be the most effective witness that you can be for him. But you can't do it by yourself. You need power to do that. Power to do it. Let me tell you why. Because just like the folk was there saying to Peter them, hey, y'all must be drunk. There's some folk out there that will crush you unless you operate in the power of the Holy Spirit. When you are doing what God is asking you to do and you're doing it with God, folk can say whatever you want to say. Whatever they want to say, you will say, okay. 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 I remember when I was pastoring Victory Church. This is an old story. I had a person came to me and told me everything under the sun they wanted to tell me. And a lot of it was very degrading. And when they got through saying everything they said, I said, okay, great. Y'all ready to move on? They said, wait a minute. I said all of that and you're saying, okay. I said, well, here's the thing. I just thought you wanted somebody to talk to. I'm not getting ready to take all this junk in and make it a part of me. I listen. I told y'all about one Sunday evening. Thank God I came to the altar, to the church, while I was on the phone with him because it was heartbreaking heavy. That's been this year, less than 3 weeks ago, that I had somebody that was pouring some stuff on me. I mean, baby, I had to get close to the church because if I didn't, I was getting ready to fuss. I came to the church because I needed some help. And when they got through saying everything that they said, they wanted to know what I had to say. I said, the thing that I want to share with you is that I praise God that he has created me to be the kind of person that you can throw all kind of sewage on me. And that I can be trusted to respond appropriately. But I had to find a church, man. I'm telling you, I had to get back here because they were dumping some stuff and pouring some stuff, and really it was talking about me in a very, 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 very bad way. And it was breaking my heart. And I said, God, I got to get to the church. Man, me and that Sequoia got here, and I was able to listen and listen and listen objectively. And when they got to saying everything they said, I was able to take it in and say, listen, and receive it a different way. But I'm thankful to God that you could pour your sewage. Because there's some preachers I know, you couldn't have said half of what you said to me. In your career, your license will be gone. We got to grow to the place that when we know the truth, that's enough. Regardless of what everybody else say or think. The only way you're able to do that is with the power. I said this morning, I've been called a lot of things in my life. And 99% of what they called me wasn't true. But I was okay with that. Because if you really want to know the truth, you'll get close. If you want to believe what they say, you'll hang with them. But either way, I ain't wasting my time trying to prove who I am. God will give us the power to stand when fires are burning and winds is blowing. He will give us the power to stand. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This year, my brother, my witness, this year I have experienced enough to walk away. I don't know what happened to me at 50 years old, but my tolerance for stuff has gotten so low. Till I'm at a place where I said, you know what? It's not even, I'd rather just go on. I've been here. It's some things that I've been going through. I've been in a place before I talk to God. Say, you know what? The deuces. I'd rather be at the house, sitting on the pool, than to deal with this kind of stuff. But God gives us wind. Stand, even when we don't want to stand. And to stand, even when we gotta stand. Because I told you, I can throw in the towel, but the Lord don't always give you permission to throw in the towel until you feel like throwing in the towel. Sometimes God will send you back to the very storm that you tried to avoid. I know that to be true too. I received a paper appointment 2 years after I wanted to go. God gave me the appointment back twice. And I thought the bishop was stuck on crazy. I said, after all the things that I just told you and these folks just told you, you sending me back? Yep. Then I got the appointment another time. I said, wait a minute, dude. God, do you not understand what's going on? Do you not see all of this stuff that's happening? Yep. But I realized that the appointment going back was not so much for the people. It was for what God was purposing before later on in my life. Don't get confused. What you're going through now ain't got nothing to do with now. It got to do with everything that's going to happen in the days. And God needs you framed right so that when He drops it in your hands, if you frame right, you'll be able to hold it. That's my time. Thank you. Y'all forgive me for that phrase. I say it so much. That's my time. Thank you for yours. But I'll tell you where it came from. Y'all don't think I'm crazy when I tell you where it came from. Each time I go to the prison, I used to be in 4 jails at one time. When I would first go, it was kind of hard getting the inmates to kind of really feel, especially the men, to feel the gospel. And each time that I would minister to them, I would say, that's my time. Thank you for yours. Now I'm in 2 prisons. And I still have that saying, that's my time. Thank you for yours. So it's just an expression that I have. It's nothing, it's always in good taste. Thank you for listening is what it really means. Thank you for listening and for giving your time to listen. That's really what it means. All right, what I'm getting ready to do now is offer Christ.